Hi everybody, thanks for pressing play on the video today. It's Caroline here from craftycarolinecreates.com. Today's project is this very simple to make but very stunning and very striking little notelet set. So in here we've got four hand stamped note cards and some envelopes. It's just tied with a little bit of ribbon. So I'll just open that up and show you. That opens like that. Inside we have some beautiful matching note cards, and these are all made using the gorgeous Tranquil Tulips set, which, if you've been watching me this month, will know I am giving away to all of my Stampin' Up customers absolutely free. If you shop with me this month, this will come out to you in a thank you pack early next month. Pop over to Crafty Caroline Creates if you would like to place an order. I don't normally let people know what the thank you gift is going to be, but a lot of people have asked me if this can be a thank you gift. So your wish is my command, and shop with me this month and you will get this free next month. The other thing a lot of people have asked me, after I featured this stamp set in a project recently, a lot of people asked me how you stamp it, because I did a pre-stamped image then. So the note cards I've done all slightly differently. These all are from using Tranquil Tulips. The sentiments do come from a different set. That comes from, what is that called? Birthday Blooms. The happiest of birthdays and for you come from there. But just quickly run through what I've done. This is probably my favourite combination. This is simply real red stamped twice. There's no stamping off at all. It's a two-step stamp, which I will show you in a minute, and then this is literally just stamped twice. This one is a lovely combination. This is crushed curry and calypso coral, so you get a real nice look on that one. This is sweet sugar plum stamped twice, but I've stamped off. So firstly I did the background, you'll see that in a second, and then I did the highlight without stamping off. And this is another lovely colour combination. This is fresh fig stamped off and then stamped fully again. So you really can play around with lots of different colours and make some really gorgeous little note cards. These are Stampin' Up note cards. They measure 3.5 by 5 inches. Their envelopes are just slightly bigger, but they fit perfectly in this really beautiful wallet. And you know, these would make fantastic gifts, and they would do really well, I think, at craft fairs as well. So let me stop babbling. It's quite a long introduction, and I will show you how I made it. I'm going to start with a little bit of stamping. What I have here is, well, not a little bit of stamping. We're going to do all of the stamping for the cover. This is very vanilla. It measures 8 1/8 of an inch by 5 1/4. All of the dimensions are over on my blog. And what we're going to do is we're going to stamp our tulips all the way across, and then we'll make up our box. So we need to use these 4 stamps as our tulips, and we're just going to start with the 2 smallest ones. So these 2 go together. I'm going to use a different colour combination. I'm going to use crushed curry, but instead of calypso coral, I'm going to go for a slightly softer look and use peekaboo peach. So I would recommend that you start with your the larger of the stamps. Let me show you this one, the bigger one first, and you want to do that in your lighter colour. Okay, so I'm just going to start by going down, and you can see when you first stamp it looks like it's gone wrong. It looks like the stamp isn't working and there's a mistake. Let's just do another one. So we'll do one here. Okay, you can see it is supposed to look like that. It does look like it is broken, but just have a little bit of patience, and in a moment all will become clear. So then I've got my peekaboo peach, which is my darker shade. I'm going to ink up my next stamp, which is this one. I'm just going to stand up so I can look down through the stamp, and I'm going to line up the bottom of this stamp with the bottom of my stamp image. And because this is photopolymer, you can just look straight down the stamp and you can get that lined up, she says, pretty well. I think that's about it. We go, and you can see how we're adding a little bit high. It's a bit hard because I'm quite high up with the camera in the middle. Stamp that down, and you can see how we get that gorgeous two-tone tulip effect. Ignore my smudge there. Okay, let me put the these ink pads away. And then what you can do is you can keep building up across with all of your tulips, and then you can go back and add in some leaves. I'm not going to do it all, I'm going to bring out one I prepared earlier in a moment, but let's just show you how you can do your leaves. So we've got a few stems. These 3 stems are on one stamp, on these little stems here that are individually. So I've mounted that up on the biggest block, and we can come back in, stand up again, look through, and hopefully my block's a bit big, but you can then see how that would line up. And the other good thing is, because these are photopolymer, if you don't want the stalk to go that way, you can get your fingers a little bit inky doing this, but you can bend the stalk on your block and you can get it to go a different way. Let me just stand up again. Stamp that one there. Voila. Okay. Last thing is just to add some leaves. And again, I have these prepped, again in Old Olive. There's a few different leaf shapes here, and you can again put an accent on. So I'm just going to ink that up and add a few little leaves. And that is as simple as it is, really. And these leaves also, to get a bit more contrast, you can stamp it one way and then you can turn it upside down and you get a different leaf shape from the same stamp. Really, really clever. I can see why this stamp set has been impossibly popular. So you can see how to get this look. You just need to continue your stamping all the way across the card. And voila, this is what I did earlier, so you don't have to sit and watch me do all of that. And once you've done your stamping, you're ready to do a little bit of scoring. So I bring in my scoreboard, and we're going to start with all of the measurements, remember, on craftycarolinecreates.com. Just going to lift you up a little bit. I'm going to bring this in, tip it upside down. And what I also did on this one was I've just rounded the top 2 corners slightly. Use my envelope punch board to do that. Turn it upside down, and we're going to score it at 3 3/4 of an inch and at 4 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so just 2 score lines on there. I've also picked out the Peekaboo Peach that we used here, and I have some Peekaboo Peach cardstock. This measures 9 inches by 2.5 inches. Just going to score it along the long side at 3 3/4 of an inch, 4 1/4 of an inch, 8 inches and 8.5 inches, and then the short side we're just going to score this at 1/2 inch. Okay. Let's then fold and burnish our score lines. Okay, I think that's more. Okay, and then we are going to fold this up into making our box. So we're just going to go along the bottom where we've got this 1/2 inch score line, and we're going to go up each of these little score lines just to the 1/2 inch one in the opposite direction. Okay, and then to fold this up, all I did, sorry, did I say that? I fell asleep a little bit there. I also notched out those 2 little squares, and at the very end I cut that off. And then we are going to take some fuse. I went on autopilot a bit there, I didn't explain what I was doing. We're going to put some fuse along the underside of this flap here, so this side is sticky, and then just fold over your other side, line that up at the top, and we can fold that closed just like that. Okay, then I'm also going to put some fuse along this flap here. Just fold it up so we can get in to do that. There we go. There we go. And then just fold in these flaps on our base, and then we just fold that up so it's nice and square. And this is our box where we will pop our cards. A nicely stamped piece we are going to fold and burnish the score lines. I just love the way it looks with those Tranquil tulips wrapped around the box. I think it just looks really pretty. Okay, now before we fold it up, we are just going to get a pen, and just going to line this up along the bottom of my grid paper, and this is 5 1/4. So at 2 5/8, I'm just going to put a little dot about, what's that, 1/4 inch in, flip it round and do exactly the same, 2 5/8 and a little dot. Oh, I'm going to cough. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Little something tickled me, and a little dot there. Okay, and then I'm going to use my handheld 1/4 inch circle punch. I'm just going to punch through where I put that dot, and this is how we're going to close it with that gorgeous ribbon. Right, so we'll bring on our box, and we are going to attach this with some Tombow just on the back. Quite liberal with your Tombow. There you go. And then we're going to line it up against this bottom score line here, and along the bottom of our box, just like that. There we go. Slide that down a little bit, and then I'm just going to use my bone folder. Don't bring your Tombow inside. Use my bone folder just to press down and make sure that has stuck to my flap. There we go. Now here you could pop your cards in. At this point I haven't actually done that. And then we're going to tie it closed with some ribbon. This is crushed curry ribbon. This is the mini chevron ribbon, if we can focus. I love this ribbon. I use, this is there is an old olive version as well. I think there's Bermuda Bay as well. This comes in 3 colours. And then we're just going to feed this through the holes we've just made. Get hold of it, there we can. And I'm just going to tie this off in a little knot. Remember, you'll have your note cards in at this point. Tie that off, there we go. Shredding a little bit. So I'm just going to neaten off my tails. A little bit short on that side. There we go. And last thing, I thought it was looking a little bit plain. So you can see on this one, I've just taken the 4U stamp set. I said before that comes from Birthday Blooms, and I just stamped it. I went for Early Espresso to stamp that. And I cut it out using one of the layering ovals. And we're just going to pop a few dimensionals. These are the mini ones actually. Few dimensionals on the back there. Okay, I think we're getting there now, and that's just going to stick up about there, and it just, I think it just finishes it off and makes it into a really beautiful little note card set. And as I said, I love the way the tulips wrap all the way around the box. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions or there's anything I can help with, do not hesitate to get in touch. And yeah, if you would like this set absolutely free, pop over to craftycarolinecreates.com and place a Stampin' Up order for some lovely goodies with me. And don't forget, Stampin' Up have an offer at the moment. For every £45 you spend, they will give you £4.50 to spend in August. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.